Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are diving into three essential laws that make math with integers easier and more efficient. The commutative, associative, and distributive laws. These laws are the building blocks for everything from simple arithmetic to algebra, and understanding them will make solving problems a breeze. So whether you are new to these concepts or just looking to brush up, stick around because we are about to break them down step by step. Let's get started and unlock the power of these math rules. The commutative law is one of the most important properties in mathematics. It applies to both addition and multiplication of integers. The key idea behind the commutative law is that the order in which you perform the operation does not affect the result. The next is associative law. It is another fundamental property in mathematics and it applies to both addition and multiplication of integers. The main idea behind the associative law is that the way you group numbers when adding or multiplying does not change the result as long as the numbers themselves stay the same. The distributive law is the key property that connects multiplication with addition and subtraction. It states that when you multiply a number by a sum or difference, you can distribute the multiplication over the terms inside the parentheses. Now let's have a look on each of these laws with examples. Now the commutative law of addition, the sum of two integers unchanged by changing the order. Look at these numbers. When 2 is added to 3, is equal to when 3 is added to 2. It means the order of the number does not affect the answer. And this is commutative law of addition. Now take another example. Verify the commutative property of addition for 39 and minus 51 or negative 51. Here one number is positive and the other number is negative. Now we have to write them in such a way that a plus b is equal to b plus a. For example, a is 39, b is negative 51. So b is negative 51 plus a is 39. The order of the number does not affect the answer of both sides of the equality signs. So let's have a look that first of all we will solve the signs in between the numbers. We all know that plus and minus when multiplied becomes a negative sign. So 39 minus 51 is equals to minus 51 plus 39. All of you know the addition and subtraction of integers. If you have seen my last video, link will be provided in description. Okay, we have to add them or subtract them, but we have to put the sign of the greater value. So our answer will be negative 12. And here again we will subtract because plus minus means minus. We will subtract then and put the value of negative sign. But remember one thing, the commutative law with respect to subtraction does not hold. It means we can put addition sign in the center to make the both side equal, but we cannot say that 39 minus 51 is equal to minus 51 minus 39. So we cannot put minus sign on at the place of this positive sign. Okay, so commutative law of subtraction does not hold. Commutative law of addition or commutative law of multiplication are same except the difference of the sign, that a into b is equal to b into a. Here a is 6 and b is 5, and 5 into 6 means 6 into 5 is equal to 5 into 6. This is called commutative law of multiplication, that order of numbers doesn't matter in multiplication. So answer is 30 on both sides. So we can say that commutative law of multiplication is that the product of two integers remain unchanged by changing their order. Now let's take another example to understand the commutative law of multiplication. Here we have two numbers 24 and 28 in one example. And in second example, we have 33 and negative 10. And we have to prove that if we change the order of these numbers, whether the answer has any effect or not. So let's take first two numbers 24 and 28. As you can see here, it means 24 into 28 is same as 28 into 24. That's what we have to prove or verify. Yes, the answers on both sides are same. Now look at this example. We have 33 and minus 10. Okay, positive and negative make a negative sign. and 33 into 10 is 330. Here again 33 have positive sign and 10 has negative sign. Positive negative make negative sign, and we have 33 into 10 minus 330, so no difference again. So but commutative law of division of integers is not true. It means commutative law of multiplication is applicable, but commutative law of division is not applicable. Now the next law is associative law, and it indicates that the way you group numbers when adding or multiply does not change the result. Now look at this associative law of addition. We have to make group of numbers, but we will not change the sequence of numbers. For example, here we have three numbers for associative law. For commutative law, we always have two integers, but for associative law, we must have three integers: 4, 5 and 7. Here again 4, 5 and 7. But this parenthesis has changed the group of numbers. For example, here the group indicates 4 add 5, and here the group indicates 5 is added to 7. So we have to prove whether this grouping has any effect in the answer or not. So let's see. First of all, we will solve the integers inside the parentheses. 4 plus 5 is 9, then plus 7, and here 4 plus, now we will solve this portion, 5 plus 7 is 12. This is the second step. Now we have removed the brackets. Now let's see that both sides have same answers or not. Yes, 9 plus 7 is 16 and 4 plus 12 is also 16. So we have proved that any grouping of numbers will be having no effect in the answer unless we change the numbers. Now again we have associative law of addition, and now our numbers are 15 minus 16 and 19. Writing these numbers on both sides of equality sign in the same sequence, but the difference of brackets as I told you earlier. Now first of all we will solve the left hand side. 15 minus 16 inside the parentheses, so we will solve them. Plus minus is minus, answer will be 1, and putting the sign of the greater value it will become minus 1 plus 19, and final answer will be positive 18. It is not necessary to put the positive sign with integers, but it is very important to put the negative sign. Now come towards the right hand side. 15 plus in the bracket minus 16 plus 19, we will solve the bracket first. Plus minus is minus, so we will subtract both numbers and put the sign of a greater value, so we have a greater value sign. Now 15 add 3 is 18 again, so both sides have equal answer, so we can say that it is proof that left hand side is equal to right hand side for this associative law of addition. Now associative law of multiplication rules are same, but there is a difference of sign, that now we have three numbers 4, 5 and 7, and instead of addition sign we have put multiplication sign, and we have to verify that the answers of both sides of the equality sign are equal or not. So let's have a look. First of all we will solve this bracket. 4 into 5 is 20 into 7, and on the right hand side we will solve again first the numbers inside the bracket. So we have 4 into 5 into 7 is 35. Now here answer is 140 for both sides, so we have proved that associative law of multiplication is applicable. It means left hand side is equal to right hand side. Now let's take another example. Now we have three numbers, negative 6, positive 7 and positive 8. First of all we have to learn how to write them. We will write them in the same sequence, but we will put parentheses on the first two numbers. Then we will write the right hand side, but the sequence should be same, but parentheses should be on the last two numbers. This is how we have to write associative law. Now we have to prove the left hand side is equal to right hand side or not. Let's solve the left hand side first. We have negative 6 into 7, positive negative is negative, and 6 into 7 42, so we have minus or negative 42 into 8. Multiplying both we get negative 336 according to the rules of integers. Now right hand side we have negative 6 into bracket 7 into 8. 7 into 8 is 56. So we have negative 6 into positive 56. Again we have negative 336. So it is proof that associative law that left hand side is right hand side for multiplication. It is very important to understand the distributive law of multiplication over addition, as it is understood with the name that there are two operations, multiplication and addition. At the same time, we have to solve them. How? What does it mean? First of all, we have to understand this. We have three numbers, negative 10, positive 7 and positive 13. We will write them. We will put multiplication with the first integer and before the brackets. But between the brackets we will have addition symbol. Means 10 is multiplied by 7 and this negative 10 is also multiplied by 13. So our right hand side is minus 10 is multiplied by 7 and this minus 10 is also multiplied by 13 and this addition symbol will be in between these two numbers. Now look at this blue statement. According to this law of multiplication, multiplying a number by a group of numbers added together is same as doing each multiplication separately. Here this negative 10 is multiplied with these group of numbers, which is equal to multiplying the number minus 10 separately by 7 and 13. Now solving the left hand side first. Negative 10 into 7 plus 13. Solving the bracket first, we get 20. Negative 10 into 20 is negative 200. Now come to the right hand side. Negative 10 into 7 is negative 70 plus negative 10 into 13 is negative 130. Now addition subtractions means subtraction. So negative 70 into negative 130, negative make positive. We will add them but put the sign of a greater value. Yes, it is proved that left hand side is equal to right hand side. This is distributive law of multiplication over subtraction. The main difference is that in last question we have done the multiplication with addition. Now we will put the negative sign instead of addition sign. As you can see here we have t numbers 10, 30 and 20. So it means 10 is multiplied by the answer of the numbers inside the bracket is same as 10 is multiplied by 30 minus 10 is multiplied by 20. Now let's solve the left hand side. We get 100 and after solving the right hand side, multiplying 10 by 30 and multiplying 10 by 20 separately with negative sign in between has given the same answer. So it means distributive law of multiplication of subtraction is applicable and left hand side is equal to right hand side. I would like you to watch the video again for deeper understanding and to understand the difference between all these laws, and especially do some practice for these kinds of questions and keep in touch with Maths Guide. Your next video will be about multiplication and division of integers.